Good time.
Not quite the same as Johnny Lee Holtz.
Close.
That used to be fun.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have to, I don't even know what your part is out there. Do you have to go, you have to work out there yet this week?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you? I didn't know. You didn't.
Yeah. Me and Steve. We were taking bets on when the police car would draw a line in the street, taking bets what time the parade was going to get to there.
Who won?
One of the other people.
Right.
Here
we go.
It's pretty fast.
Regular workshop meeting, Monday, August 4th, 2025, 6 p.m. Bear,
Here.
Briggs, Coulter,
Here.
Hydrich,
Here.
Holtmeyer,
Here.
Packey,
Here.
Pepsel,
Here?
Sullentrop. Please rise for pledge of allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the committee answers, if they have or have not read, the minutes of the meeting dated July 7th, 2025? Bear,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Coulter,
Yes.
Hydrich,
Aye.
Holtmeyer,
Aye.
Packey,
Yes.
Pepsel.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Bear, second by Patke to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next.
Report of department heads, engineering department, CMAC agreement, High Street and Highway 100.
Good evening, council. Last council meeting, we talked about the STP grant application for Fifth Street between the Willows and Old Highway 100. This is the CMAC application, very similar at High Street and Highway 100 intersection improvements. So it's dual left lanes for the north and south off of High Street, dedicated right turn for northbound to eastbound, pedestrian upgrades, and then also signal upgrade for westbound to southbound there. So this is just the agreement with MoDOT, so we can move forward a little quicker on the project here and trying to get a consultant on board and everything. So project would be construction late 28, 2029. So
Questions?
So upgrading the westbound turn signal on 100, turning onto High Street, but not eastbound, is that correct?
Eastbound's already got a 4
Okay,
signal.
all right,
Yep.
thank you. I thought it did, but.
Westbound's the last one that doesn't have a 4 signal head.
Gotcha.
Which MoDOT is currently looking at possibly changing that from a flashing yellow to a dedicated green timing. So it wouldn't help with backup, but it would help with some of the safety concerns that were brought up at a previous meeting. So they're still working through whether they can do that or not.
Thanks, Charles.
Questions, you guys?
I think, great job, Charles. I think it's another one of those situations where it's improving our intersection and doing the right thing, so thanks.
Makes your motion to move it on.
Second.
Motion by Holtmeyer, second by Patke to move it on. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved. Next, Sherry.
Fire Department 2024 Ford Expedition Replacement Vehicle.
Good evening, council. In your packet is a letter detailing some events that happened. Bottom line, this is a victim of underinsured, a motorist. Chief Scornia was returning from a call, was T-boned at the intersection of 8th and 47. Long story short, the vehicle was totaled. The person that struck him was insured at the state minimum of $25,000, and because of that, we submitted a claim to Travelers Insurance, who's the city's insurer. They did the appraisal of the vehicle and found his value to be slightly over $39,000 for a one-year-old vehicle with 12,000 miles on it that we paid $56,000 for the year before. There is no gap insurance in the city's policy, and so The progressive payment will go to Travelers, so they'll go after Travelers for their piece of it. Travelers will go after Progressive, I'm sorry. And so, what I'm looking at, asking for today is a budget amendment and approval to purchase a vehicle. We did a nationwide search for a vehicle of the exact make, model, and features. There are no red ones available nationally. Next color of choice was white. Had three we tracked down and were unable to get them, and we were able to secure a black one that Offenburg was able to secure at $59,620. So I'm asking to amend the budget using the reserves to finish out the project and get a vehicle back for the assistant chief. We did have the vehicle, the Travelers moved it to Overland for a estimate where they were thought they were gonna do some body work. That body shop gave them a supplement, and it's what totaled it out. So the vehicle was moved to Fenton to have the emergency equipment stripped out of it. And it subsequently was released to the insurance company for the city to get their check from the insurance company. So that check would come back and counter some of this expense. But to do right now, we would need to take it all out of the reserve fund, pick up the vehicle, and we're looking at getting it wrapped to make it red, sticker it, letter it, put it back the way it was. The vehicle's a 2024 is the one we have found. We missed the ordering opportunities for 2025, and 2026s don't open up for a while, so this was the quickest and simplest. And Ford has changed the layout of their interior, and we were concerned about all the equipment that we bought recently would not fit into a newer model, so we tried to stay with the same model year. We did explore leasing with Enterprise, and Enterprise said we're better off just doing the path we're on because they could not get a vehicle as fast as we would be able to do it. So we did look that path as well. Questions?
How much is it costing to wrap it, Tim, excuse me?
Either way, Mark. We're estimating 5 to 6. I'm waiting on a quote from Ziegler, and we'll just take that out of our operational budget. That's what we're estimating right now. They're supposed to be getting samples of material in. We did inquire with the insurance company if they would cover the cost of that, and they said they would only cover the cost of basically pulling the equipment off and putting the equipment back in and moving of the vehicle. There was a little bit of discussion, and our pushback was, you moved it to Overland, you're paying the tab for moving it around, since that's where your shop was going. That was your idea, so you can pick up that bill. So they have indicated that they will pay for putting it back the way it was, but the color of it is not necessarily in their wheelhouse.
So again, we are getting 25,000, that's all.
We're getting 37,000. That's minus the $2,000 deductible. The grand total on that is like 39,000
Okay.
and some change. But then there's a $2,000 deductible. They deducted out of that, so it's $37,000
There's a
reimbursement.
$2,500 deductible.
$2,500 deductible.
And then we did seek restitution from the prosecuting attorney, so we're just waiting for that check.
Okay. Do you think it would be wise to give this vehicle to you and give your vehicle to Chief Scornia, since you put more miles per se?
It would add more cost for changing lettering around and doing things like that. Half one way, 6 a dozen another, honestly.
Okay.
Darren, would it cost too much to up our insurance to cover the special vehicles like that, or would it be more costly?
We would have to ask. I don't know. We haven't asked for that, but
So those
so
vehicles.
far we haven't. This is the first time this has ever come
Yeah.
up.
So
I
this
understand.
vehicle is not part of the GAP insurance, so all of the larger vehicles, there is a GAP policy. So for example, a pumper is approximately $1 million right now. The trucks, the entire fleet, you look across the fleet, the most any of them is worth from a retail value, if you just sell it today, the most we'd probably get is $400,000 to $500,000 at the most. So there'd be a $500,000 gap. There is an insurance policy the city has on the large vehicles. We started that with Daniel Henry a number of years ago, and that actually came out of an event in St. Clair that we learned from. Since then, the fire department's on it, and I believe street and or another department, perhaps Parks, has some of the larger, more expensive specialized vehicles. They have that gap insurance, so we're getting insured for replacement value, not
Okay.
current value,
All right.
market value.
Answers my question. Thanks.
Definitely an unfortunate situation, but I guess, Mark, you're listening to this and asking for restitution. We're doing all we can to get everything we can back, and we gotta make this so Chief Scornia has a vehicle to drive.
Yeah, I mean, I assume somebody got charged with this, which is why we're seeking restitution, but the prosecutor's office will try to get the deductible back. They won't worry about the insurance payment, but we'll try to get the
You
deductible.
can only go back for the $2,500,
Right,
which was the amount of a deductible.
right.
So we won't go,
You won't go for the
After any more than that?
25,000 or?
That'll be up to Travelers or Progressive or whoever it was. That'll be up to
The
them.
Travelers will most likely go out of Progressive to get the 25,000 from Progressive, and then it's 12,000 out of Travelers' pocket, or 14,000. But the balance of it from the replacement value, that is totally, unfortunately, falls on the city. And we're better than some states. I've heard that I was talking to some insurance people, there's some states that have 5,000 minimum, 15,000 minimum, but truly the problem is the state law minimum is where the crux of this all lies. So that's the minimum insurance that you have to have in the state of Missouri.
It's probably been that for the last 20 or 25 years.
I think it was in the
It's not-
80s when I looked at the statute.
It's definitely not kept up with the cost of vehicles.
And the sad part of that is that same statute has the bodily injury piece of it, and that
Right.
doesn't really cover that adequately as well.
I think it's 2550, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
can't believe I'm gonna say this, but we're lucky if they had anything, because nowadays, you don't know, they may have no insurance, and we'd be on the bill for the whole thing.
True.
Correct.
Well, number one, Chief Scornia is okay. That's number one, you can't replace bodies, but it's still a shame that they're not more accountable, these people.
Right.
You know, I drove out of my garage several years back and it cost me $9,000 one morning. I got hit in the side and they totaled out my vehicle and it cost me $9,000. The difference, it cost me the $9,000 to drive out of the garage. It's wrong. It really is wrong. Yep.
So it's gonna cost, Tim, it's gonna cost our taxpayers 20,000-ish or so?
About that, yeah.
I think our elected representatives up in Jefferson City need to know stuff like this, you guys. That's costing our payers BS money.
Yeah, it's wrong.
BS.
Well, it's not just the citizens, this is an everyday event,
Oh,
right?
I
So if you're
know.
driving down the street and your
Absolutely it
vehicle's
is,
worth
Tim.
more than 25,000, you're struck,
Yeah.
you're out of the difference.
Yeah, like I say, I got hit that one day and it cost me $9,000 difference,
Yeah.
loss. It's wrong.
Any of you guys object if I talk to our elected representatives?
I was planning
Tell
on
us
sending the
about this.
representative a letter.
I think that's a good idea.
Please
It's a real
do.
good idea.
Please
yeah.
do.
Is this the same incident that took down our,
No,
okay.
Same location, man.
same corner,
When I
same,
read the location,
That's
I thought
where-
it was
that's
the same
where-
one, but yeah.
same corner, no, it was not, it was
4
not.
days of each other. That one happened on the 14th.
This
and-
one's the 19th, yeah.
And then Mark's was on the 19th, so within 4 days, 5 days of each other.
Well, shall we move on, you guys?
I make a
Any more
motion to
questions?
proceed.
I'll second.
Motion by Patke, second by Briggs to approve BA, 3BA. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next one.
Upfitting for 2024 Ford Expedition replacement vehicle.
In the packet also is another letter regarding PSU, Public Safety Upfitters in Fenton. The vehicle, I believe, left there from today. They have stripped the vehicle, so if council didn't approve this, we were gonna have them take it all out anyway. And so they're storing the equipment at no cost, but they were pulling all the equipment out. And we could have absorbed that in the operational budget, so I wasn't trying to do an end round. There is a quote there for $6,994 for installation, with the assumption that all the equipment is good, and we already know that that's not true, because when they were taking the equipment off the side that was struck, one of the lights broke in half as they were taking it off the vehicle because it was involved in a collision. I'm asking for a budget amendment of $8,750, which is more than, about $500 more than what the estimate is, but as I mentioned, we already know that there's parts that will be broken as they're doing this.
Questions?
Motion to send.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Briggs to send it on. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Water wastewater department, Front Street and storm water SIP.
Good evening, council. This is the project that's been going on for months, the slip lining of the sewer line down on Front Street and a sewer line out in Stonecrest. Finally got all the proposals together, and Visit Sewer came in quite a bit lower than in suture form this time around. So and I say the street department wants to do some storm line slip lining or CIPP. So we're asking for your approval to proceed with it.
Kevin, you said it is quite a bit of difference in price, but you're still confident that Visu Sewer is competent to do it?
We used Visit Sewer one year, oh God, it's probably 10, 11 years ago, just because they were lower than in suture form, and suture form has always been the low bid. But Visit Sewer took on the same kind of thinking as in suture form, and they actually made a cooperative agreement with Fulton, Missouri, by Kansas City, the same as in suture form did with Independence. So it's a cooperative price agreement, meaning they went out for bids with Fulton, they won the bid with the low bid, and they're actually sharing that with the rest of the communities that want to follow it. So that's how we got a little bit better price. That'll be good for 2 more years, so we'll probably utilize that for the next 2 years, staying on that same agreement unless in suture form, we'll still go out for bids, but unless in suture form or somebody else would come in lower, but we don't see that happening, so.
How many other companies do that slip lining?
Around here, it's Visit Sewer in suture form and S&K. S-A-K, not S&K, S-A-K. We contacted S-A-K, they did not respond back to our request, so.
This is a little bit irrelevant, Kevin, but I'm gonna ask this. Why is an 18-inch sanitary pipe cost less than an 8-inch sanitary pipe to line?
I'd have to ask them that.
Okay, just
And
looking at the
like I've
bid.
said before, I don't call and say, hey, what's the story here?
I mean, just looking
I
through your
look at
bid
the
here,
numbers.
it seemed odd, but then in situ form was the same way, so.
Yeah, why they do that, I don't know, but I can only assume that it's easier to pull an 18-inch sock than it is an 8-inch sock, but
I think you're spot on, Kevin.
Might be the case, yeah.
I would have to ask them, but, yeah. I don't-
And the
I don't
budgeted
worry
item was 500,000. We really came under that much lower than what we thought it was gonna be?
Yeah, well, we have some extra money from the half cent sales tax, that's all part of that budget. I put 250,000 in, half cent sales tax puts 250,000 in, so that's how we get to the 500,000. It's just because this stretched out so long to try and get something together that we didn't have the opportunity to try and bring more work in. Now, starting next year, we're already working on next year's slip lining project currently, so we already have quite a bit of line we're gonna be slip lining that we know is bad. So it'll change next year, we'll have a whole lot more, but this year kinda, with everything we had going on Front Street and trying to get all that done and everything, it just kinda was a little tougher to get it all together, so.
So since we have such a good bid, so we make sure we're doing more next year?
Yeah, so what we're doing, I've already talked to Darren about this. We had a company that came in, we are doing a apprenticeship program with the Missouri Rural Water Association. We have 2 of our employees in it, and they're utilizing the fire training ground, so that's how we got our employees in. They use a company called Dukes out of Oklahoma that does what they call eye tracking. I don't know if you guys remember about a year ago, I bought 12 of what they call eye trackers. They're sonic testers. They brought in 20 of their eye trackers, and we put our 12 with it, and we did a whole bunch of manholes on the west end of town. I got that report back, well, I got it in the mail yesterday, as a matter of fact, and it shows a spot over off of Lewis and that area over there that has an issue. We know by what we saw that there's an issue there, so that's our first one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get into a contract with Dukes, they're the only company that does this kind of stuff, and actually do another round of the same kind of testing throughout town, and we'll use that data to then focus on what needs to be slip lined, rather than just going out and randomly slip lining because we think it's a problem. Now we're able to actually focus on where the problems are and actually fix those problems, which helps I&I, helps Front Street, it helps equipment, it helps, cost and everything else, so. We're gonna use some of that money to fund that project too, which will be coming hopefully by next month on that, so.
Good deal. Sounds great.
Further questions, discussion? Take a motion, guys.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Patke, second by Coulter to move the 3CA on. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
We do have about 3 items to discuss with you in executive session, but we got some time if there's any other department heads that you want to ask questions of.
I would like to, sorry, Kevin, you got away from me before I got to you. Not
Yes,
unless,
please.
not unless you want some, extra steps. I see you gimping. I see you gimping. What's going on there?
Old age.
Kudos to Kevin Quatham. Last Thursday evening, I got I volunteered to work up at Our Lady of Lourdes Church on a fire hydrant. It's a private one that we had to put a spool piece in. I've never done it, so I called upon Kevin to give me a point or two. Didn't want him to get in his hands dirty or anything. I wanted to get dirty, which I did. And so I just want to tell you, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it, because if you weren't there, it wouldn't have got done. I mean, I had my fire department buddies with me, but I was, I didn't see some people there, but I won't mention names. But anyway, if you weren't there, I wouldn't have got done what I got done. So
Well, that wasn't a problem. And on that note, we also had a little bit of a fire hydrant training.
Yes,
While
yeah.
we were there that,
yeah, you
I
gave
was
a lot of.
kind of surprised that a couple of the firemen didn't know how a fire hydrant operates, so, anyway.
Well, and there was 2 things training. The second was pipe fitters. Everybody thinks pipe fitters don't do anything, but I was down there doing it, wasn't I?
I do have to say, he was down there. He was down there.
Whatever. So thank you very much again. It's greatly appreciated. It was 2 hours of his time he didn't have to give.
I have one other thing to report. I have some good news for a change. Fire station project is going very well. Looks to be on target. We do biweekly owner, architect, and contractor meetings. Lawler Corporation issued a change order, and for a deduction of $72,131. So the contract price of the building went down $72,131. We think there's another $3,200 coming. And so far, that project, it's rare that I've ever seen a contract reduction change order, but the mayor signed it for us last week, so that change order has been executed, and that contract has subsequently been executed for a deduction. Building is now at $5,048,069. So kudos to Lawler for the value engineering work that they did.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. Sam probably gave you that right out of his salary.
Sure.
Anybody have anything else?
Just a quick thanks to Chad too, because been running him a little bit crazy over the weekend with, we have new locks on bathrooms that we didn't know how to open and all kinds of stuff where I bugged him a few times, and we got a new window at the stage today, so things are looking good.
What's going on this week? I don't
know. Drove through there, seems like there's a lot of.
Baseball tournament, don't you?
Yeah. Baseball tournament, yeah.
Public vote on whether or not to hold a closed meeting to discuss personnel, legal, or real estate matters pursuant to section 610.2021 RSMO 2000. Bear?
Yes.
Briggs?
Yes.
Coulter?
Yes.
Hydrich?
Aye.
Holtmeyer?
Yes.
Packey?
Yes.
Pepsel?
Yes.
By your vote, we're in executive session, guys.